Hey guys, so I'm gonna do a chit chat, get ready with me so I can update you on what's been going on, what I've been up to, why I went MIA for 2-3 months. So we're gonna do our makeup and we're gonna talk. I feel like it is long overdue for this talk because I'm just ready to move forward and, you know, move forward with my life and close that chapter of my life. So we're going to do our makeup in the process because I actually do have somewhere to go. I have to go run a couple of errands today. So, all right, I'm gonna just start from the beginning. And I think like if you seen my blog, like you will notice that I did say my ex-boyfriend. Me and my boyfriend is not together anymore. We broke up last month in August, and to be honest, it was just kind of a one-sided decision, but given the circumstances to it, it had to happen kind of. But I'm gonna go ahead and just tell y'all what it is while we do our makeup. All right, I wanted to make this video, but I wanted to actually have a sit down video, but then I didn't want it real serious because I'm in a better mood, you know, and I don't want to, you know, dwell on that. So we're just going to do our makeup while we discuss this. So I will say the decision was not based on me and my actions, but what happened was, okay, I'm going to rewind it. So he went out of town. He had a trip booked to go visit his dad in Maryland. And he went to go visit his dad. And while he was gone, it just seemed kind of odd. Like, we wasn't really talking much on the phone or text or anything like that. So we did end up talking one day. Like, I ended up calling him or whatever and asked him why he ain't, you know, call me or anything. He's just like, you know, he was just spending time with dad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, cool, understand, like, you visiting your family, that's cool, whatever. And he was only up there for like 4 days, I think, something like that. And I know when he came back, I picked him up from the airport or whatever. We kind of had a discussion in the car. I wouldn't really say it was an argument. It was more so of a discussion. I waited because when he was up there, he told me that his dad had wanted him to move to Maryland to stay with him. And I was like, well, don't you think that should have been like a discussion like we had first? Because mind you, we just moved into our new house like in May. We just moved into a house together in May. Like both our names on our lease. Everything, it wasn't just a one person thing, like it was both our house. And so we had that conversation, but he was like, he might be going out to school, blah blah blah. And I was just like, yo, that's random as hell. Like, and then he was trying to say that they wanted him to go into the military, and I was like, I thought you didn't want to go in the military. It was just like a lot of mess, basically, is what it seemed like, because it's just like you telling me all the things that you didn't want to do originally, so it don't even make sense that all of a sudden you go up there for a few days, like a weekend, and then now all of a sudden you got a whole change of life, career, where you living, all that stuff. Like you got a whole new outlook on everything, and I'm just sitting there looking like, well, you don't think you need to talk to me about something? Like, we got a house together type thing, and we did this together, all this stuff. So he came home that Monday, and that's basically what we was having a conversation about in the car from the airport. But prior to that, I was already telling my friends I felt like he was kind of acting kind of strange. Like, we wasn't arguing, but it was kind of like no communication at all. We weren't really, it's like I work day shift, he worked night shift, but we always made time to see each other and spend time with each other. But it just seemed like when I wanted to spend time with him, he'll put it off. Like, he kept going to his friend's house, from what he was telling me, that he was going to his friend's house or whatever, and saying that We'll chill on another day, blah, 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 it's cool, whatever. But it just seemed like that's what he wanted to be. Like, he didn't want to be home. He did not want to be, basically did not want to be tied down. That's basically what it is, you know. And I'll give you an example of him. Like, when The Lion King came out in July, I think it was like on the 21st or something. We were supposed to go see Lion King the night that it came out. Well, he was just like, well, we can go the next day, which would have been well, it wasn't the day it came out, it was that Sunday. He was like, well, we can go see it Sunday and I'll make it up to you, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we never ended up going to see the movie. He ended up going with his homeboy that night. And then by Sunday came, still never went to the movies. We still never went to go do anything. And my thing is, how is it that you always put your relationship first and then all of a sudden it's just like, it is what it is, like it don't matter? And my thing is, like, I was like trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, like, you just over here with your homeboys bullshitting or whatever, but that's what you want to do. Well, he just was just like extra slice fuck in July. Like, I don't know, it was just like I should have got a gist of a vibe or something, but I guess because we had been together for almost 2 years, I was just like, nah, that was one of the last things I would have ever thought, like bullshit, like on that type of level. But you know, I was wrong. He so yeah, so Lion King came out towards the end of July, and then he went out of town to go visit his dad. My story all over the place. He went out of town to visit his dad towards the end of July as well. So we were supposed to go to the movies before he went out of town, and then, like I said, when he was out of town, that's what happened. And then I picked him up from the airport. From the time of picking him up from the airport, that Monday, it's like all hell broke loose within the rest of that week. Like, we started getting into it because I'm just like, why you act like you can't say nothing to me? Why you act like you won't talk to me? You won't say nothing ever since me picking him up from the airport. And I told him, like, that's kind of messed up. Like, if you just gonna leave like that, considering the fact we just got a place together and all this other stuff. He was like, I'm not saying that I'm leaving, but I'm just saying that it was offered to me, whatever. But it was just like, after I said what I had to say about that Monday, it just seemed like he just shut completely down, like he just wasn't with it. So I said, now that happened Monday. So like Wednesday, I was like, so you're not going to talk to me? So you really not going to talk to me or whatever? And he was just like, just real nonchalant about everything. It was like he really didn't care about anything no more at that point. And I'm just sitting there looking like it was just like a whole new person, like you would never even guess, let alone think about. So I say about, that was Wednesday, so I say about Thursday or Friday, I told him, I said, so you not gonna tell me what you need to tell me or whatever? Because he told me that he needed to talk to me. Like that Wednesday, he texted me, we was at work, because we worked together at the time. We worked together. And he was like, I asked him before I left work, and I was like, hey, so I know we back and forth. And I was like, so are we going to celebrate our anniversary on the 20th? And I went up to him and asked him that. And he literally told me, yeah. Like, he was like, yeah, why wouldn't we? And I was just like, okay, I'm just saying because we've been, you know, getting into it since you came back, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, why wouldn't we or whatever. I said, I just want to know because, you know, I seen what I wanted to get you, but I ain't want to just go buying this stuff if we not on good terms or whatever the case. And he was just like, yeah, we celebrating our anniversary. That's what it is. So I was like, okay. So I left work. And later on that day, he texted me out the blue like around 8 o'clock at night. All of a sudden, he tired of us getting into it and all this other stuff. I was like, well, wait a minute. I was just at the job. Why you just ain't say that when I asked you this earlier, you know? It was like one of those things. And it was like, it kind of caught me off guard because I was watching TV. And I was just like, why you just ain't say this earlier when I was already up there? Like, I legit asked you. It wasn't no text message or nothing. I legit asked you in person. And he texted me. He was going back and forth the rest of the night in text because he was at work. He closed. And I was just like, where the fuck is all this coming from? Like, it was just a whole bunch of bullshit. So, so like I said, like a day went by, that was Thursday. And it ended in bullshit. Like, he was already sleeping in the living room. Like, it ended in bullshit. So I was just like, bro, so if you want, you can need to decide and go ahead and tell me what you need to tell me, like why you acting like this type thing. And so he never said anything. So when Friday came, I said, you got till Sunday to tell me whatever it is you need to tell me, because the way you acting just shicey as fuck. You act like you can't talk to me or you won't tell me what's up. He never said anything. He just looked at me the whole time, like when I'm telling him like you need to figure out whatever you need to tell me. He just looking at me like he never said anything. So I'm just like, man, whatever. So it was like real shicey. And I was like, he won't say anything. And it even got to the point that we was just like, okay, we'll take the game system. So then that way he'll have to talk to me. He'll have to ask me what's up or anything like that. Girl, fuck out of here. Like, no. He didn't do none of that shit. I literally stayed up for him to get home for him to have a conversation with me. And he would not talk to me. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with you? I would understand, like, if I really did some shit. I really didn't do anything. So I was really, like, trying to get him to tell me what was up, what was going on, what was wrong. But he kept saying, trying to put it off as though he was stressed out because he was trying to make a decision based on school or whatever the fuck the case may be. That was not true. That was a lie. And all this other stuff. So fast forward, like I said, I told him on Friday that he had until Sunday to let me know whatever it is he had to tell me. So, or I would pack his stuff up myself, like, because there's some bullshit you got going. Like, you don't want to tell me, blah, blah, blah. And so, when Sunday morning came, because he got off work, like I said, he worked at night. Sunday morning came, he was getting off of work, like, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was up. Like, he came in the room. I remember I was up. He came in the room. And I was laying in the bed. He didn't know I was up. But he was like being hella quiet, trying not to wake me up. I guess he didn't want to hear my mouth. So he was being hella quiet or whatever. Went to the bathroom and then went back in the living room type thing. But I had got up. And he went and got the covers out our office beauty room. That's where we keep our spare covers and stuff. And so I had got up and I had seen him coming out the beauty room, and I was like, so you're not going to talk to me? You're not going to wake me up, tell me you're home, which was stuff that he would normally do. He just like changed as a person by this time. Like, he was just changing, and he just didn't say anything. He just looked at me. I said, so you really not going to tell me whatever it is you need to tell me? And he just looked at me like he wouldn't say nothing. Like, he was mute for real. Like, he didn't say nothing. He just looked at me. He looked at me like he saw a ghost down the hallway or something. And I was just like, what the fuck it is? So I was upset. I got so fucking pissed off to the point that I walked out our house, slammed the door and shit. And I walked out our house, but I was like, nah, fuck that. Because I said that, you know, you gonna tell me by Sunday or I'll pack up this shit myself. So that's what ended up happening. I ended up going back in the house, packing up the stuff and all this other stuff. And in the middle, I'm just like, so you really gonna let this shit happen? You really not gonna tell me what it is you gotta tell me? And my thing is, he'd rather leave our house than fucking have a conversation with me about anything. And I was just sitting there looking at him like, so you really doing this shit? Whew. I said, so you really finna allow this to happen? We outside, the stuff already packed up. It didn't take me no time to pack that shit up. You know, when you pissed off, you packing this shit up real quick. So I was pissed off for real. So I was packing this shit up pretty quick. I was like, so you gonna help, whatever. And he ended up just taking this shit to the car. But my thing is, like, I'm over here still asking you, begging, damn near pleading and begging you to just tell me what the fuck wrong. Like, what's up? He never said anything. Mind you, this is the first time he ever acted like this, so I really didn't know what was wrong with him. He just kept saying he was stressed out, but it was just something, like, you know, when you could tell, like, something's not right with someone, and that's how it was with him. And he was just like, he just can't say what it was. And I was just like, what the fuck you mean you can't say what it is? All your shit is packed in this car. Like, I don't understand. What do you mean all this shit or whatever. Like, you don't know what to say. Like, your shit is packed in the car. Like what the fuck? You need to open your mouth, let me know something. And the thing about it, I should have knew it was bullshit at that point, because he rather me pack his shit and him leave than have a conversation with me and tell me what was good, what was up. You know, he never acted like that before, so I really didn't expect it. So I should have knew, but I didn't, probably because, like I said, it never happened before. But he rather left than have a conversation with me, and that's what he did. He left, and I'm over here crying and stuff after he left or whatever, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck going on or whatever? And like, at that point, I just felt like my whole world just ended. Like, I just felt like my whole world had ended. Jaden wasn't there. He was gone, because like I said, it was the weekend, and Jaden's always gone on the weekend. So it was kind of, I was just like, what the fuck? I just didn't understand. Like, I was completely shook. I was heartbroken, because I was just like, you really just left our house and with all your shit. Like, I did not know how to take that. Like, I really could not believe it. But he left, and from that moment, it was just like bullshit from here on out. It's like, once he left, it's like, I seen him the next day. He kept saying, and we talked, actually. We actually talked. We was texting, and he was telling me that he was coming home. Like, that happened on Sunday. He told me he was coming home on that Tuesday, but then he was like, he had overslept, and it was time for him to basically come into work, which it was. But on that Wednesday, I was off, and I was like, well, he was like, yeah, he coming home Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. He never, like, he came by the house. He did come by the house. And when he came by the house, he brought my pants, because I guess my pants got packed up with his stuff. So he brought my pants. So I was like, well, where's your stuff at? And he was just basically like, he didn't bring it. So I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you didn't bring it? Like, what the fuck? How are you gonna keep telling me that you coming home, but then you're not coming home, but you're here? Like, I don't understand. Like, it was just a mess. It was like a bunch of bullshit. It was like a whole bunch of bullshit. And he never ended up bringing his shit home. He never ended up bringing his stuff home or no shit like that. So, and this is like the 1st of August now. Like, this is around that time. Like, it's our anniversary month. My birthday is this month. It's like, out of all the times to do some bullshit, you wait until fucking August to do this shit when we got a lot of shit, a lot of meaningful shit to me, you know. And I think that shit hurt me so bad, because I'm just like, this shit is fucked up. Well, basically, I was cooking dinner that day. I was cooking dinner because he was like, we was gonna watch movies and everything, all this other shit. And I had cooked for us and everything, and I ended up cutting off the oven, everything. I cut everything off because I was pissed off because he lied, and he was not coming home that day. Like, long story, he just was not coming home. You could tell because he didn't bring none of his stuff. And it was like, he really didn't want to say too much or whatever. He just did not come home. So I was pissed off. I cut the oven off and all that shit. And I was like, fuck that. And I went back in my room and got back in the bed. Mind you, the whole time when he left on Sunday, I was like depressed. Like, I was home. I was in my room the whole time. I really didn't want to be out. I really didn't want to be seen or anything like that. So then, I'm not really gonna do too much to my face though, because it's already late in the afternoon, but I still do want to look presentable. But yeah, so I was in the bedroom or whatever, and we was talking, and he was just basically like, he just trying to make a decision on what he's gonna do with school and the military. He was like, everything he's doing is to better our future as a family, and that we were going to be straight. He wanted to make sure that we was straight and making sure that we was taken care of. And I'm over here just bawling, crying, like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did this even happen? Like, what the fuck? How? And I was upset because I felt like the way he put it to me was as if his family was the ones forcing this decision on him to be made. And I'm like, and the way I was upset about it, because I'm looking like, well, how can they have so much input about what goes on in our house when you don't even live with them. Like, I was upset about it because I'm looking like, because you told me you didn't want to go in the military. You didn't know if you wanted to go into school or what you wanted to do right now at this point in your career, your life. And now all of a sudden you take a trip and then all of a sudden you are distant. Like, you don't know what to do. So that's what he had told me. So he was just like, I don't want you to take me off our lease. I want to still be on the lease because I still plan on coming home. Like, you know, I just need a little time to think. So at this point, he was at his mom's house. So he was like, don't take me off our lease or nothing like that because I plan on coming home. I just needed some time to think. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So me, in my mind, I'm thinking that we probably just going to be like a few weeks, no more than a month, right? So one day I was at work and my god brother came up to me and was like, it's being said that he was out seen down in, you know, he was out seen with a female or whatever. And I was like, what? So when he was telling me about it, I was already livid as fuck. Because like I said, for the past few days already at that point, I wasn't really eating, sleeping. I wasn't sleeping at all and wasn't really eating because I was just so wrapped up in my emotions. But I really never even went through no shit like this. So I really didn't know how to cope or let alone deal with it. So I texted him. Mind you, we had already texted earlier that day. And he was just like, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And I told him, I was like, well, you know, I really hope that, you know, we can work forward or do whatever we got to do to work on our relationship, whatever. So we had already talked that morning. And so like a few hours later, I texted him and I was like, so what's this I'm hearing that you out and about being seen with a female? He texted me back and he was just like, but we didn't do anything. So I was like, the fuck you mean you ain't do anything? Like, when the fuck did females come in the picture? When did all this stuff start happening or whatever? And he didn't really say anything. So when he came to work that day, I was like, you really with the shit? Like, I lost my shit because I just felt like, what the fuck? Like, since when is it a female type shit? It's never been no shit like this. And I'm like, since when is it a female in the picture? Like, all this shit. And I went off. I was like, no, fuck that. Give me my house key. Because you're not bringing no bitch up in our house. Especially when I'm at work. You know my schedule. Fuck no. Unask that house key. I'm not with that shit. So, he gave me the key. Like, right then, like, okay. Like, he gave me the key. And then, like, so that happened that Saturday. And then I'm sitting there looking like, well, how the fuck did this shit even happen? How the fuck was this shit possible? Like, what the fuck did you tell me for you to even be seen with a female? Because, you know, what the fuck was really good? He told me that he told me in order, like, where was I at when you were supposed to be out? Basically, it's the question I was asking him. He was like, he said that I was at home. So I was like, so what did you tell me in order for you to leave the house without me? Like, because, you know, we used to always go with each other. And he was just like, I told you I was going to my homeboy house. And so I looked at him like, so this whole time I'm over here hearing me and you last month getting into it about you spending all this time with your homeboys and you not spending time with me is because you was out and about with the bullshit, right? So basically I was just like, so you basically telling me that you was telling me that you were going to your homeboy's house and you really were just doing whatever you wanted to do. So at that point, I'm sitting there like, you know, that's fucked up. Like, we never had no infidelity or trust issues in our relationship prior to this. And that's like, what the fuck? So I was pissed. I was livid. I was on a whole nother rant because at first I thought it was because of you going to school or making a decision based for your future, but it's really because you out here hoeing around. And that's what it was. You was out here hoeing around or whatever the case may be. And so I think I was at work like a few days later. He wouldn't say who it was. Nobody knew who the girl was, whatever the case may be. And I was at work. And you know how you could tell the way someone, how you could tell how someone is around people, whatever. So I picked up on, you know, a little thing or whatever. So the next day, like Saturday night going into Sunday, no, it was Sunday night going into Monday, I texted him and I asked him could he stop by our house when he got off work or whatever, and he's like, yeah, he would or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So he outside our house. He texted me and told me that he was outside our house, whatever. He didn't come to the door or anything. So I was like, all right, cool. So I go outside. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And he come outside our house. I came out the house and he was like, what's up? What you want to talk about? So we having a discussion, and then the discussion ends up leading into me trying to see his phone. He wouldn't give me his phone. So by that point, I already knew it was bullshit, because any other time he would give me his phone. I had the password to his phone, but I forgot it. So I really didn't, you know, try to shit. I tried to put his finger on the phone. He would find that shit off. Like, so at that time, it just told me what I needed to know. Like, I'm not finna do this with you. Like, that's fucked up. You know, for you to be doing some bullshit like that. And we never had that type of shit go on. So we get back to his car or whatever, and I'm like, so you gonna tell me what it is or who it is, whatever. He wasn't gonna say shit. Like, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you who I think it is or whatever, and you're gonna tell me. I asked him, do I know them? He just like laughed the shit off like it was a joke or something. So I was like, so I took it upon myself, like, it's not that many people that we know that collectively together. Mind you, I'm older than him. So I was like, so it must be somebody who works with us or something like that. And I said, so if it's somebody that works with us, I'm going to tell you who I think it may be, and you're going to tell me yes or no, because of what I done picked up myself, you know? Like a woman's intuition. When you start knowing little shit, like, you need to go with that. Like, you need to go with your gut or whatever. And so I told him the person I felt that it possibly was, and he, like, was quiet as hell. Like, he was quiet as fuck. And I was like, yes, no, yes, no, or what I said, because the look on your face is telling me everything I need to know. So I said, so are you going to tell me it's them or no? So he was like, yes. I said, yes, what? Like, yes, it's them or what? And so he was like, yes, you right, it's them. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I went off. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, somebody who worked with us. And the thing is, that's really more disrespectful about the shit is that I'm a manager and they're under me. Like, he's under me, but he's in management, but this person is just crew. So it was just like, what the fuck? Everybody know that we are in a relationship. Everybody know we live together. So it was just flat out disrespectful. And by me being in the store, it's just like a joke on, like, oh, she don't know yet. She don't know. You know? And I didn't work with them together and everything. It was just a whole lot of bullshit. And I was like, you know what? I expected some bullshit to happen later on because you were young when we got together. But I ain't expect no disrespectful type shit to be going on or whatever. Like, you know, I flip shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I really flip shit. But I did not put my hands on them. So I was mad as fuck because it's like, how disrespectful could you really be? Like, anybody out here in this city you could have got. You chose to try to get with someone who worked with us. So it seemed like at that point that he told me that he knew, that I knew, whatever. I told him that I wasn't going to react crazy at the job if he told me a yes or no. So I didn't, you know, react crazy. Like, the next day I came to work. They came to work. Well, the person, the girl. And by this point, the little baby already had an attitude, all kinds of shit. Or whatever, like, she just seemed like she had an attitude or whatever. But I'm up in there and I went to the bank or whatever. And it just seemed like bullshit just started from that point out. Like, once I found out who, like, she knew that I knew before she even got to work. So he either told her or his homeboy told her. I don't know who told her. At this point, I believe he told her or whatever. But after that point, once he knew that I knew, once he told me that that's who it was like, okay. You would think that the way he treated me after that shit, you would think that I was literally the side bitch. Like, I'm texting him, calling him, he not texting, he not responding back, he not answering my phone calls, none of that shit. None of that shit. Like, he treated me like a damn side bitch. Like, I was a side bitch and his wife found out about him in the bullshit. Like, it was like the roles was reversed. Like, I was a side bitch and she was the main chick, and he treated me as though I was a side bitch. Like, I can't talk to you. My wife found out, you know? And I'm just like, what the fuck? So, it was an incident that had occurred at work or whatever, and I ended up going up there. But his tire ended up getting messed up at the job. So they thought it was funny to say that I did it. And I heard my name coming about out the side chick mouth, so I had to go see about that. I said, ain't no side bitch finna be speaking on me. And she was saying, well, he said, you know, you possibly did it. I said, first of all, you ain't finna be speaking on me. I'll check his ass too, you know. And I can't, and my whole problem wasn't even with her from the jump. I had already said, like, my issue's not with her, it's with him. She don't owe me shit. He owed me everything. Like, you know, I had already said that. Like, I don't got no issue with no female. Listen, but at the same time, we're not finna be friends. You're not finna be speaking on me or whatever. And that's what it is. You know, my issues with him. And at no point did he even try to clarify that shit up with her or, you know, me about this whole incident. So I already knew it was some bullshit, you know, and bullshit going. So, the only thing I can say from the shit just ended up in bullshit. But the girl that he supposedly was talking to, supposedly, she's gay. Like, she's a lesbian or whatever. But she trying to fuck off on my dude or whatever. So I was like, so you didn't know this bitch was gay or whatever? And he was just like, looking at me dumb or whatever. I said, listen, well, I'm just tell you this right now. You know, I've never seen nobody do no dumb ass shit like this. You willing to lose everything you worked for the past 2 years just to give all that shit up. Like, it was just too much for one person to handle at that age. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't understand. You know, you could have did it respectfully. I felt like if he would have came and talked to me and told me what the fuck it was, or that he felt like he just haven't had time to live his life, I would have respected that more than you doing some bullshit like that when you never did no shit like that in our relationship before. And it's like people just in your ear. But if you're that easily influenced, then you're right. We don't need to be together, because I'm not with trying to be with someone who's easily influenced by other people and their decisions. You see what I'm saying? Especially people who don't have half as much as what you got. And especially people who are still in high school, who are children at the end of the day. You know, that's what it is, you know. And I just felt like he just did not respect that. He did not get that. And I just don't understand how you not get that, but he didn't get it. So I say our anniversary came up. Like, that weekend, I had to basically drag the shit out of him for him to tell me everything from top to bottom on what's up with him and his girl, blah, 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 how the fuck this shit started. And come to find out, this shit started in July when I first said that he was acting funny or whatever. Didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to be out and about. But, you know, he told me that it happened in July. They became friends on social media, on Snapchat. That's where all the hoes be at. They added each other on Snapchat and they started talking through there. And like I said, I work day shift, he work night shift. So when he get off at night, he's able to talk to this person on the phone because I'm in the house sleep already. So, and he was sleeping in the living room because he was claiming that it's because he didn't want to wake me up when I was asleep or whatever, because I work in the morning. That was what it was claimed to be. But he had then already been doing that even when we lived in our other apartment. So that's what it was up until he decided he wanted to be a hoe about it. So, yeah, he was doing that whole shit. So he ended up telling me from top to bottom, like, basically they was having conversation, basically talking about them proceeding to have sex with each other. But at the time he said they never did. But the way that he was going about it, like, he should have motherfucking did it. And you know what? At this point, he probably did do it. He just told me that he didn't or whatever. I don't know. I really don't even trust him. Now at that point, like, that shit just dead, because you didn't lie so much for someone who never used to lie, and that someone who has so much respect for me as a person, you know. So on our anniversary, we did nothing. It was cut. We did nothing. But I texted him and I was like, do you want to work towards our relationship or whatever? And he responded back. He was like, no, he didn't want to work towards our relationship because the trust wouldn't be there. It's like he wasn't man enough to man up on the situation to try to fix the shit, you know? And so I was just like, okay, so he felt like we should be friends. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not finna be friends with you because you don't do no shit like that. You don't, then you not even trying to make the shit work, not trying to fix your relationship. You just want to be out here being out and about. And if I ask you, why did you do this shit to me? And you could tell me you didn't do anything, you don't deserve this. Obviously, it's something wrong. Like, if you could tell me that, then why is it that you are so easily able to do this shit? Like, you just thought the shit was cool. Like, I just don't understand. But he told me, like, you didn't do anything, you don't deserve this. But he told one of the guys that worked there that I'm a mutual friend with, he was like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up because of bad timing, you know, our anniversary, her birthday, all in this month or whatever. And then she gonna be left with all these bills. And I had to tell him the next day after I heard that shit, I was like, oh no, see, what we're not finna do, you're not finna do that shit to me. You could tell me I don't deserve this shit and that I didn't do anything for our relationship to be like this because it was on you. What you're not finna do, I'm not finna be left with them bills. I don't give a fuck if I could afford these bills by myself. I'm not finna be left with them shits because you decided you wanted to be a hoe. So I advise you to pay your portion of the bills because you're legally responsible for these bills as well. And I would hate to have to sue you. Like, bottom line. At this point, it's like no respect for anything. So at this point, it's just like, it's either you're going to pay your bills or I will file paperwork to sue you. That's what I had to tell him. And my thing is, I would have never thought that he would be the person that I would be telling no shit like that to. You know, especially the day after our anniversary. But I was so sick and tired of crying. I was so sick and tired of, you know, my emotions feeling like they was being played with. My feelings feeling like they was being played with. Because if that's the case, I could have went on and moved on, you know. And at that point, I was posting all kinds of crazy shit on Snapchat just because he could see it. He knew that. And I told him that. Like, bro, that's what it is. And I just stopped. Like, he got to the point I just stopped. So on my birthday, like, my thing is this. Granted, you did all this shit to me before my birthday. My thing is, why were you the first one to message me happy birthday on my birthday? You did all this shit. You're not obligated to tell me shit. At this point, we not even talking to each other. So you didn't have to take it upon yourself to text me happy. Okay, so yeah, I'm sitting there like, you're not obligated to tell me happy birthday. It is what it is at this point. We're not even talking, let alone having communication with each other. You do not have to tell me happy birthday. So why did you take it upon yourself to tell me happy birthday? And y'all see my happy birthday vlog with Hurricane Dorian. So that's what was going on through this course of time. So my sister thought it was crazy. Like, oh, we'll see if he's going to come through and give you the birthday deed. You know, whatever. No response. So it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you did not even have to tell me happy birthday when you already wasn't talking to me, you know? And my feelings was dead the fuck ass hurt the whole fucking month. Like, August was supposed to be my month. You know, it was my anniversary, my birthday. I was supposed to start school in August, but I pushed it back to October because of all this stuff that was going on. And I will tell you, no lie, that shit affected me so bad to the point that my mental health was literally shot. Like, it was nothing positive going on. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. I was just like crying most of the time in my room, in my house. And I took it very hard. I never went through a heartbreak, like a real heartbreak. I never experienced a real heartbreak until this happened. Like, it really felt like, the way I could make it equivalent to, it's like when you get a phone call about a close loved one passing away and how your chest get real tight and caved in. I swear that's how I felt. And I thought I was going to have a fucking heart attack or something because I never experienced it before. And I really just had to let go of that. Like, I had to let go of all that hurt. And so I vowed to my sister, Uniqua, and my best friend, Boo Boo, I vowed to them that I wasn't going to dwell on it. You know, they were calling me, checking on me every day, all this stuff. And I was just vowed, like, I was going to kick it. By September came, I was going to kick it. I wasn't going to say nothing else to them, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. Everything that needed to be left alone and said was said in August. It was what it was. And that's what I did, you know. I still see him basically when I be at work or whatever. We do still work together. But every day I feel like I'm getting better. I'm getting better with it. I planned 2 trips on purpose just so I can get my mind off of it before I start school. I do not plan on staying where I currently live, the city that I currently live. I don't plan on still staying here after my lease is up and when I finish school. I don't know if I'm going to go month to month with the house or what, but I do plan on relocating because I'm just ready to start all the way over. And I feel like once I finish school in these 6 months to get my license for my real estate stuff, I just feel like it's better for me to just move on instead of being down here and have to like basically relive a bullshit situation. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we was together for 2 years, and it's one of those things like when you genuinely love someone, those feelings don't automatically go away. But at the same time, if you don't want better for yourself, I can't do anything about that. But I won't just sit around and allow you to do dumb shit just to be doing the shit. You know, I can't always be there for you. So that's what it is at this point. I just feel like the best thing for us is, and for myself, the only person I can speak on is myself. So when I meant by us, I just meant like my house situation. The best thing for us is just for me not to have any unnecessary communication with him. I ended up blocking him off of Snap because I was just like, it ain't even worth it. I don't even want no parts in that shit. But eventually I'm probably just start cutting ties all in all because it's just, it is what it is. So yes. Yeah, so eventually I just felt like everything was just a game to him. Like he just felt like the whole thing was a game, like, you know. And I don't respect that. I don't respect that as from him, let alone anybody else. I feel like it's a way you do things and handle things. Like I said, like if he would have came to me and told me that he felt like he didn't have time to live his life or whatever the fuck, like I would have respected that. Because like I said, he is younger than me, but he didn't do that. He didn't do none of that. But another thing I don't respect is listen to this shit, because I had told him the same thing last time I actually had a conversation with him. The Saturday before my birthday, I had a conversation with him, and I told him, I was like, prior to all this shit happening, I told him that I felt like we was roommates in our house back in July. And I said, so if you want, I'll move all the stuff out the beauty room and office and bring them inside our room, and then you can have the beauty room, whatever. You need space like that, you can stay in the beauty room, whatever. We don't gotta be together type thing. The only response from him was, I said, so what did you say in response? He said, I told you no, this was our room. I said, so you can't sit here and say I didn't tell you from jump. Like, you could have had the other room. If you felt like you needed time, space, or whatever, we didn't have to be together. You could have still had the other room. And another thing with that is, it was also kind of one of those things. This shit happened in July. We wasn't even living in our house a full month. Because if y'all go back to our old vlogs, when we first got the house, we signed our lease in May, on May 1st. I was kind of hesitant about it at first because I was just like, nah, I think we should just keep the apartment or whatever. Because the apartment was my apartment by myself. And so I was like, nah, maybe we should just stay here or whatever. He was like, no, I'm tired of living out here, da da da. So we went and signed the lease May 1st. And we moved out the apartment officially by the end of May. So we only lived in our house together for a month prior to him cheating. So it was kind of like one of those things, like, you could have left me where the fuck I was at. You know, I didn't need all that. Now we got all these damn ties together. We got a house together. We got a puppy together. It's like we got all these fucking ties together, and it's just kind of like, you could have left me the fuck alone back in May. Like, that's where I got with it. And I'm just sitting there looking like, how the fuck do you, he was like, and then when I said that to him, he was like, but that's what I wanted. I said, so if this is what you wanted, how do you all of a sudden change up everything within a month for no reason? So it's like one of those mind games. Like, I'm not finna play that shit with nobody. It's one of those things, like, I'm just like, I'm better off just moving on and eventually cutting off all ties and communication. Like I said, I'm supposed to be moving. I plan on moving after I finish school and everything. And it's only 6 months. And I don't know if I'm going to go month to month with my lease. Up until then, I know I probably want to do another full year in my house. But I'm going to be looking at houses and apartments at where I plan on moving to. That's where I'm going to go take my trip, so that I can go start looking at areas for me to move to in a couple of months once I'm finished school, so I can have that all planned out. And I plan on just relocating. And once I relocate, I know I'm going to end up changing my phone number in all, and I will be able to give my number out to who I want to give my number out to. So I just feel like that's the best thing for me and my mental health. And just to pray. Like, I've been praying so much. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've been praying. I've been reading self-help books because, like I said, like, I've never been in such a dark space before. And it's like a slap in the face because I put my body through hell for a whole month and a half behind it. And I just feel like it's just a joke to him. So that's why I just choose not to have no communication at all, unless I have to. Like I said, it's still both our houses. He's just not here. And at that point, like, it also got so hard for me because I didn't want to come home. Like, I refused to come to my house. Like, I'll be out. Like, I didn't want to come home. And then when I did come home, I used to just be in a room with the door locked. I would not be around the house or nothing like that. I was just depressed. Like, I just did not want to be here. Because, like I said, we got this house together. This was supposed to be for us and our family. But that's not what it is. And I was just, like, distraught. Like, I was heartbroken. Like, I was seriously messed up. And I will say, like, I'm grateful for my friends and family that was there for me in that time. Because I'm telling you, like, I've never knew that it was possible to be broken that bad. You know, especially by someone that you just love and care about so much, you know. And that y'all done been through damn near almost everything. And this is what it turns out to be that breaks y'all. I never knew that shit was possible. And it took everybody by surprise when they started finding out what was really going on. Because they just, like, they never would have even thought, let alone seen some shit like that coming. So it wasn't just me who was blindsided by the situation. Friends, family, like, they was blindsided by it too. But it was kind of one of those things, like, all you had to do was speak up and be straight up with me about it versus actually cheating or whatever, you know. But it is what it is. And like I said, I'm been remaining positive. I've been going to work, working out, all this stuff. Because, you know, baby got to look real fine and everything. And like I said, I'm just basically trying to dive it right into, like, I work a lot already. But now I'm finna start school. Because it's like I have goals that I'm trying to establish. And me relocating would be better for my career goals. So, yes. That's what I've been going through, you guys, for the past month and a half. And I just wanted to basically go ahead and let you guys know so that we can move forward, leave that behind us in the past. And yeah, I love you guys so much. I want to thank you guys so much as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah.